more insights into the exciting new elements coming to the Disney Magic, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce the man whose team is bringing these innovations to life. Please join me in welcoming the Senior Vice President for Creative Development of Walt Disney Imagineering, Joe Lanzisero. Joe?
Here. I feel naked. I don't have a band. Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Great to be here and talk about one of my favorite projects. Let's go to the first slide there. Here we go. The Disney Magic. Okay, I have a special connection to this ship. I don't know how many of you know this, but I actually worked on the original ship, crawled around in the half-built hold when we were in Venice. It was an amazing experience. And ironically, many of the spaces that I worked on the original ship are those that we're going to be completely ripping out and redoing. But that's what's so great. I mean, we take things that are wonderful and make them even better. And this ship, as Carl said, is an award-winning ship. We love it. So one thing we did when we set out to reimagine this ship, we thought about all those things that were great about it. And there's a saying that we have around Imagineering, actually. It's what Walt said, or how we think about Walt. And Walt always had one foot in the past and one foot in the future. And that foot in the past was about honoring all those things that made the brand great, or makes the brand great, which is storytelling, guest service, and really understanding that that's what people come to love about Disney. But Walt was always looking forward and always thinking about what is the next great technology, what's the next great device that I can use to tell my stories better. So that was kind of the philosophy we used as we went into the Magic, thinking about what are those things that are core to the experience, that are working, they're great, they're wonderful. Award-winning ship, it's great. But where are those places that we can make it even better? And what's kind of fun is that we launched these two great new ships, the Dream and the Fantasy, and we took learnings from the Magic over to those ships, and we learned new things when we did the Dream and the Magic, and now we're taking some of the great things we've learned from the Dream, and the Fantasy, rather, excuse me, and bringing it back to the Magic. So, let's get on board the ship here, and I'm going to take you through a little tour, some of the great changes that we're going to be making to this already magnificent ship. So starting right out, when we enter into the ship, first thing in the atrium, we wanted to set up this is kind of our establishing shot, like you have in a movie, and telling our guests there's something new here. And we're going to give the atrium a bright, fresh rework here. As you can see in this rendering, all new color scheme. We're actually changing some of the architecture in here, losing one of the stairwells. Still honoring that great Art Deco look of the current ship. As you know, Art Deco is the design idiom that kind of ties the ship together and gives it that great sense of romance, because it's that tie back to the sailing ships from the classic time of those ships. You can see Mickey will still be there. It's hard to see him there. He's off in there's my laser pointer. There's Mickey there, but he's going to be getting a little makeover. He's going to get a little buff and puff and be looking nice and fresh for all our guests as they arrive into this beautiful new space. So now our guests are going to be moving through the ship, and let me talk a little bit about our dining experiences. You know, we created rotational dining, 3 distinct dining experiences. We have an elegant dining experience, a casual dining experience, and then our entertainment dining experience. We were the first to do that, and it works great. So we wanted to look at, first, our casual dining experience, which is currently Parrot Key. And it takes place, as you know, we took a lot of the inspiration from Parrot Key from the Caribbean, and we like that idea of connecting people to these exotic places. It's all about creating these immersive experiences for us. But one thing about Parrot Key, and we felt, you know, there was an opportunity to create an experience that could dress itself up a little bit. So when you're there in the evening, you can go and have a nice lunch there. But when you're there in the evening, we wanted to have a little more upscale feel. So we now took our inspiration from Brazil. Still went south, and as you can see, we're going to be calling it karaokas. And for those of you aren't familiar with that name, that's that little parrot there. That's Jose Carioca from the Disney film Three Caballeros. And they went to Brazil, and as you can see, we brought back some great design ideas, motifs that actually exist in that city. But the cool thing here, and pay attention, everybody, watch this. We go from day to night. Ooh. So you can see it's going to have two very distinct personalities that'll really take this space and make it a very pleasurable spot for our guests. Now let's moving on. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, if something's great, and we went through these spaces and we kind of analyzed what we were going to do in each space, we said, if it's great, let's not mess with it. And this was one of those spaces, Animator's Palette, everybody's favorite. Even today, you walk in that space, and it still gets oohs and ahs. But at the time when the ship was built, many of the technologies were state-of-the-art at the time, but have now fallen a little behind. So what we're going to be doing here is giving this a whole new technology facelift. New video screens, new audio, new lighting, and that's going to allow us to take the show that's currently playing in our black and white color show and make it even better, but it's also going to allow us to bring over a new favorite from the Disney fantasy, Animation Magic. And for those of you who are not familiar with Animation Magic, it's an amazing show that allows our guests to take their placemat and draw a 2D drawing, and it actually comes to life in full animation up on the screen. Moving on upstairs, we have our buffet restaurant, Cabanas, and it's going to be completely transformed as well. New serving centers there, a whole new way of serving our guests, no more buffet lines. And as you can see, it's got this great look that we're taking inspiration from Australia. And why Australia? Because a great Disney movie, Finding Nemo, takes place there, and we'll be bringing some of our Nemo characters in there, as well as this great design from a lot of the Aboriginal colors and patterns that you find in Australia. Now, moving on, youth spaces. These were the spaces that I had much to do with, and like I said, they're going to be completely redone, starting with the nursery for our youngest guests. It's a small roll nursery. We're taking our inspiration from what we did on the Dream and the Fantasy with bright new colors and a whole new floor plan here that will service our youngest guests. And then moving on, we have our great Oceaneers Club and the Oceaneers Lab. Starting with the lab, it's going to get a whole new look. I call this Jules Verne's meets Pirates of the Caribbean. And here we showcase a lot of fun technologies. We have our multiplayer pirate game, our simulator for ship simulator attraction, and then of course the whole space is designed to work with all the great children's programming that we currently have. Now, looking over at the Oceaneers Club, whole new look here. This we're calling our magical library portal into the space. You can see there are these oversized books, and each book is an entry into a different area that features different Disney characters. We're going to bring some old friends back, and we're introducing some new friends. Of course, Mickey Mouse has got to have a home here, and this is the Mickey Mouse Club with many fun activities, including the great Goofy Gear Wall. As you can see, there's this fun, interactive, actually giant, like toy play device. Then moving on to Pixie Hollow. This is where our young guests can be shrunk down to the size of a fairy, both boys and girls, because they can dress up as fairies or pirates in here. And then moving on to my favorite spot, I love this, it's Andy's room from Toy Story, everybody's favorite. We did a version of this on the Dream and the Fantasy, but actually we're taking it to the next level here. Literally the next level, because it's a 2-story space, and you can see you get to play under Andy's bed. If you look real closely, there's Andy's bed, and every kid loves to play under the bed, and there's toys under the bed like Mr. Potato Head and Ham. But the fun thing is, once you climb up on the bed, you have to get down off the bed through the great fun Slinky Slide. Slinky Slide, that's fun to say. Okay, now, whole new area, never done before, and we're bringing new friends onto the ship. New friends of the Disney family, of course, are our Marvel characters. And here in the Marvel Avengers Academy, we're creating this really cool space where our young guests will get to become superheroes. And we're also going to be featuring some of the actual artifacts here from the Avengers, like Iron Man's suit, the Thor's hammer, and Captain America's shield. But what's really cool about this is the programming that surrounds it. It's a multi-day program where kids will learn their attributes of what's going to make them a great superhero. The whole space interacts with the program with lighting and audio, and we're really excited about bringing the Avengers onto the Disney Magic. And moving on, okay, lots for kids to do, as you can see, great kids basically, but we have not forgot about the adults, and we're going to completely reimagine the adult space. We'll have a new name, After Hours, and this is the very elegant entrance into the space. We'll be featuring 3 clubs. 3 clubs, each with a very different look and different personality. The idea here is in one night, a couple can go out, friends can go out, and really experience what it might be like to go clubbing in New York, Las Vegas, Miami, really elegant, upscale evening out. Starting with our main club room is Cabanas. And Cabanas takes its inspiration from the sea. Why from the sea? Because the sea has many personalities. It can be very calm and beautiful, but also be very exciting. And that's exactly what happens in Cabanas. It could be early in the evening, a small cabaret act, or a comedian might be in there, but by the end of the night, you've got the disco lights come on, and the whole personality of the place changes. But if you're not into the loud music there, you can walk next door to Keys, which is our very elegant piano bar. You can sit and sip a drink and listen to cocktails, or have a wonderful cocktail while listening to some great piano music in this beautifully appointed Art Deco space. Or, if that's a little too low-key, how about moving right next door to Gills Pub? This was introduced on Disney Fantasy. It's proved to be one of our favorites. And Gills is going to be everything that you would imagine an Irish pub could be. Lots of fun here. So 3 distinct spaces. Now, our last area, as we get all the way up to the top of the ship, is our upper decks. And here we're going to have some, I love this word, Splashtacular Farm. A little bit of something for everybody. As I said, we took learnings from our new ships, and one of the things we heard is that even though we have areas for kids, we have areas for adults, this is the one place where everybody likes to come together. So we're going to give everyone here a little something, starting with the pool area here that we're going to retheme as the Aqua Lab. And the Aqua Lab is where the Donald's nephews there, you can see them, Louie, Dewey, and Louie, have created all this fun water play equipment for guests of all ages. We're also introducing a really cool new slide, and this is a family slide, not just for kids, called Twist and Spout. It's fun because you enter the slide going in one direction, it literally twists you around, you get the name Twist, and it shoots you out the opposite direction of which you land in. And now, last, I can't forget our youngest guests, our littlest guests. We're not forgetting about them. There'll be a completely covered, shaded area here for them called the Nephews Splash Zone, and they get to climb around these cute little rubber duckies that are squirting water, and even the wall has the plans that the nephews, they worked out all these drawings of how all this stuff is going to work out, and you'll see that even the plans are leaking water. It's all about the fun leaking water here. And finally, here we go, the AquaDunk. Now the AquaDunk, if you don't know, is actually another invention of the nephews, and this was the prototype. They worked on a number of prototypes. You know, in Disney, we're all about stories, and the story here is they worked on this prototype. And this prototype was the more adventurous one, and I'll tell you why, because look at this. The guests will actually climb the stairwell to the top of the funnel and climb into this little capsule where, at the count of 3, the bottom falls out from underneath you, and you drop 3 stories down. And we thought that was so cool. We had to do a little video to really explain it to you in detail. So here we go. I'll tell you, button your seatbelt up, fasten your seatbelt, but there is no seatbelt here. So let's enjoy a moment watching AquaDuck.